Hi there. This is a demonstration video for labeling pitches on the grand staff with the specific octave number and then finding those pitches on the keyboard. This picture of a piano keyboard here. Now, this is very similar to your assignment number 2 keyboard, and it's most similar to the second part of that assignment with the worksheet keyboard identification. So again, the second part of assignment 2, the keyboard assignment, and there's a worksheet in there to print off called keyboard identification, very similar to this demonstration. You might find it useful to have all the C's written out on a grand staff, all the C's on the piano keyboard written out on a grand staff like this, or you could go into Canvas and go to the page Octave Register Designation, which is in the Week 2 module in Canvas. Now you're going to see on my little written out diagram here, the C's on this printed keyboard are C3 through C6. So here's C4, middle C, here's C3, here's C5, and then the highest note on the little printed out keyboard on this assignment is C6. All right, let's begin with the first pitch here in the bass clef. But first, let's read the directions for the assignment. It says label the pitches below the notes. So you're going to label the pitches down here. You're going to label them with the specific octave. And then if the pitch is a white key on the keyboard, write it directly on the keyboard, kind of like this. If it's a black note on the keyboard, write the note above the keyboard directly above the black key that it represents. So for example, if I had F sharp 4, I would go C, D, E, F, F sharp, and I'd write it right up here in this spot. Right, F sharp 4 right here. Now each pitch is distinct in this assignment. It's only found one place on the piano keyboard. All right, let's go ahead and take a look here. So the first pitch is a D. So we'll label it as a D. And this is where you might find it helpful to have your C's handy next to you. But that D is closest to C3, which would be found right here. So that's D3. So remember, locate your pitches next to the closest C. And here's C3, and then D3 would be right above it. All right, now how to write that on the piano keyboard. Find C3, here's C4, so C3 is down here. D3 is right above it, so there's D3. All right, next pitch in the treble clef. Let's count up from the top line of the treble clef, which is an F. So F, G, A, B. So again, here's F. G would be above the line, A would be on the ledger line, and B is sitting on top of the ledger line. All right, which B is that? Well, look at your C's. It's really closest to C6. But notice it's below C6. C6 is right here. So that makes this B B5. Remember, all the pitches in the octave below from C5, which is here, all the way up to the next C are in the octave of 5. So that's B5. All right, let's find it in the piano keyboard. Here's C4, middle C. Here's C5. The top note on the piano keyboard is C6, so one below it is B5. Number 3 is an F sharp. Now make sure you write the sharp after the note, so F sharp. Remember, the accidental goes in front of the note head, but when you actually say it or write it, you're going to say F sharp. But when you write it on the staff, with an actual note head, the accidental, in this case a sharp, goes in front of the note head. Which F sharp is that? Well, take a look at your C's. That F sharp is like right here. C4, so that is F sharp 4. All right, find it on the keyboard. C4 is here, D, E. Here's F4, F sharp 4 is a black key in the keyboard right here. So remember, if it's a black note on the keyboard, write it above. So this is F sharp 4. Number 4 in the bass clef, that is a D. It's a D flat, more specific. Don't forget your accidental. The closest C is right here. That is C3. So this is D flat 3. Find it on the keyboard. C4 is here. C3, octave below. Here's D3. So D flat 3 is a black note below. Number 5, back in the treble clef. That is a B. It's a B sharp. Don't forget your accidentals that are included in front of the notes. B sharp. Which B sharp is that? Well, there is a C right here, and that is C5. So right below C5 is going to be B sharp 4. All right, this is C5. B sharp 4 is right below it. Now this one is a little bit tricky because it actually is going to be the C key on the keyboard, but you want to write it as B sharp, not as C. Here's C4. Here's C5. Here's B4. Here's B sharp 4. Now, of course, that is enharmonic with C5, but because it's actually written as a B sharp, it is in the octave of 4. All right, number 6 is in the bass clef, and that is a G. C3 is here, and C4 is up here. So this is G3 in the octave of C3. Find it on the keyboard. Here's C4. So count down. Here's B, A, G, 3. All right, number 7 in the treble clef. That's an E flat. Now middle C is right here. Remember that's C4. So this is E flat 4. All right, finally on the keyboard, here's C4, D4, E4, E flat 4, right here. All right, and number 8 is a double sharp. Remember, a double sharp tells you to raise the pitch 2 half steps. Not just 1 half step, but 2 half steps. So here we have a D double sharp. Look at your C's. Closest C is right here, which is C5. Right here is C5, right? So this is D double sharp 5. Okay, let's find it on the keyboard. Here's C4. Here's C5. Here's D5. Here's D sharp 5. And here's D double sharp 5. Let me show you that again. So here's D sharp, and this would be D double sharp. And again, it is enharmonic with E. Enharmonic, remember, means the same note on the keyboard, but 2 different spellings for that pitch. All right, and the last two, numbers 9 and 10. Number 9 is in the bass clef. Let's count up from the top line, which is A. So A is here. B would be above the line. C and D, sitting on top of the ledger line. Middle C in the bass clef looks like this. So this is right above middle C. That means it's D4. Located on the keyboard, here's C4. D4 is here. And the last one is a double flat. G double flat. Again, it's between C4 and C5. So it is G double flat 4. And a double flat tells you to lower the pitch by 2 half steps. Let's take a look. So here's C4, D, E, F, G. G4 is here. This is G flat 4, and this would be G double flat 4. And harmonic with F. Okay, so again, here's C, D, E, F, G. Here's G flat, G double flat, and harmonic with the pitch F. All right, let me zoom out here just a little bit so that you can see the whole worksheet. Check your answers as you need to.